It's 2022, folks. I hope everyone has a fantastic freaking new year. But it's time to get back into the swing of things. What I'd like to do today is just draw in my sketchbook and design some characters. Trying to do something that's not just the same old, I thought what could be fun is to design characters and their animals. You know that trope where like the people and their animals look the same? I'd like to do that, but maybe like expand it from like dogs and cats to like, I don't know, exotic birds or something. I want to continue practicing with colors and having vibrant but cohesive and readable colors. Now the first thing I like to do when I have an idea but not specifically a vision, well maybe I have a vision but not a visual. I don't know. I like to just jump on Pinterest and just type whatever the heck I'm thinking. But these turtles. Look at those turtles. Maybe we should start with the turtle since it's jumping right out at me. So let's draw a turtle and like the turtle's best friend, the human. All right. So first, what should I start with? Maybe drawing the turtle. What I really like about these references that I showed you and that I'm adding to this board are just how exaggerated the facial features are of like a turtle. So I feel like if I look closely at those, I can kind of replicate them in the person too. And then maybe we'll end up with a nice cohesion of animal to hurt human. You know? I'm just gonna kind of try and draw a turtle, I guess. I feel like mine will have a very round shell. Do you have to have that kind of like lip? Ooh, that's really fun with like the hard edges mixed with the softer ones. It's like a foot. This guy, what, Thibault? I don't know how to pronounce that. Draws like little black toes. And a back leg somewhere back here. The belly. For a second I was like, ooh, what if they're like superheroes and they're like crime fighting duo? So it's like a person and their animal, and then I was like, that's gonna start really getting Pokemon trainery, you know? I'm gonna try a square face. Big chins, maybe. Maybe a little room for a smile on the cheeks there. Ooh, this person gave them eyebrows. A really good way to give your animals expressions, I suppose. Ooh, one of these people kind of like made the shell almost resemble a turtleneck. So like you can see the shadows from the two separate sections. Ooh, I like that. Because then we can give the person a turtleneck. Then we have a little tail. Little squiggles for the knees. Alright. The face, I think, is the only thing that I'm a little lacking in. I just feel like I could make it more fun. Or if I give a guy this kind of same face, but make him human, you know, what would that look like? So I started with a square, big chin, with like a nose that kind of lines up with that. This is looking like Buzz Lightyear, actually. Should I make him bald as well? I feel like that's a good option. All right, now it's Thanos. That was supposed to be facial hair. Now he's got really like stocky features, but he also has like a tiny little tail. And there's the mix of like the soft and round with like the hard edges. I should probably try and keep that in mind too. And I also want a turtleneck. Ooh, those two. I'm seeing some connections here. What about like a vest? Just kind of find a body in here. I'm feeling like a vest could kind of imitate the shell. You could also have a backpack, maybe rolled up sleeves. Thinking boots. He's giving me very like mercenary vibes. So maybe cargo pants. I'm seeing like someone on an aircraft carrier that Captain America comes swooping down and punches in the face, you know, just like a background character. So mine can have eyebrows. Yeah, I think it definitely needs like a vest or a backpack. It's a huge backpack, maybe with those like straps in the middle, a parachute, or the vest. It's basically just like really big backpack, huge turtleneck, bald head. Those are his like main characteristics. Let me try the vest idea though. So maybe a huge chunky vest, and then huge pockets. What if it had like this shape to it? Let's try and find the colors, then I'll make a decision on the final outfit. I kind of want to just rip the colors straight off of this, because I think that those colors were what really inspired this outfit. All right, step one, we need some, almost like a warm gray for the turtle. This is the Ohu. Let's probably start there, actually. I just kind of want to go with it. I just want to have a little fun. Ooh, look how that layers on top of the green. It like stays fluorescent. Okay. Then I want some green color for the shell. very yellow, but that would look great on him for like his khaki pants. That layered with the warm gray or a cool gray. I think I'll try that with that green on top of it. And you know what? I'm thinking now that this is dried, it's lightened up a little bit more than I originally wanted. So I'm actually gonna use that color for the belly. And then we'll find something else. Maybe something warmer, but still earthy. What about the Ohu one? Is that any lighter? So these are like the same color, but this one's the Ohu. Ooh, it's a little bit more warm, but not by much. Ooh, okay. I'm thinking that's what I'm looking for. I'm gonna kind of focus it on the skin. I'm like really impressed with how the green doesn't take any of the marker. So it's like doesn't mix with any of the color. It just stays the exact same green. It's really cool. It just stays so bright. See, the problem is I'm gonna want this to be really dark and it's not going to layer over. See, I want that to like be the shadow color. And I'm not gonna be able to go over this green. Watch. It's definitely darker than the things around it, but if I went like over top of this, I think you'd see it way darker because it would look like that. But if only on the green, it doesn't really matter. Maybe a little line art or layer the colors a little for some shading. Maybe something a little lighter and yellower. So I probably would have used this for here if I had pulled this out sooner. All right, maybe a little liner. I feel like a nice thick liner might be good. Actually, I wonder if that oil-based pen from that Art Snacks box might be useful on top of this greens. Switch to a thicker one. Oh yeah, see now this is layering over top of that pencil real good. Some dots. A little ruggedy. Ah, I love him. Little turtle. Now we gotta figure out this guy. Now that we have the colors picked, I just have to kind of decide where I want to scatter them around here. We can probably start. The only thing I want to change... Well, actually, you could probably use this for his skin tone. I don't know. Let's try it. I'd want to try and not add any extra colors if possible. Oh, but this is what I wanted his turtleneck to be. That's a bit of a problem. Well, maybe we can layer this skin tone on him. The ash rose. Just to add blush. Maybe some arm hairs. I totally see this guy having like a big, giant Rolex. Blend this out a bit. I can maybe get away with this color being the turtleneck. I'm gonna try that. Just have to find a way to get it to look different from the skin. Probably use this as like a little shading between the layers too. Blend that out. Be the little facial hairs. Now I definitely want this camo-y color. The vest, which started with the cool gray. Ooh, so much pencil under here. Make it a little difficult. But hey, I learned something new. I feel like the boots would be this color too. Try that. And layer it with green. And I guess this color would be good for the pants. No, wait, what did I use for the blush? We'll start with this. Maybe we can layer them together. He's definitely lacking a little contrast, but that might be because of all the green, not letting the colors really sit and be what they are. Maybe a little line art will make a difference. I'm gonna look up like a combat vest. Add that to the Pinterest. Copy some of these ideas. Straps, and pockets, lots and lots of pockets. Bigger pockets. Huh? That's a lot of pockets. And the turtleneck needs to be completed with the rolled up sleeves. Maybe that watch I was talking about. Oh, and the pants need pockets too. And some boots. A little more arm hairs. I don't see them so much anymore. I also wouldn't mind layering this over this color. Separating it from that turtleneck color. I could even make this like camo-y. If I want to add some up here too. Maybe they're both camo. Ooh, he's a camo turtle. Where's your shell, Mr. Turtle? I don't see one. Ah! They're so cute. I feel like the vest could be, like right now it's too big, poofy, and soft, whereas I want it to be more sharp, like a shell. So we're gonna move over here and kind of give them their little couple's portrait. I might use a pencil. I really want to be able to erase it, so it seems like the right way to go. All right, we gotta come up with some fun poses. Should I have him holding the turtle, or should they be standing side by side? Should I thumbnail it? That's a good idea too. Oh, I've got an idea. Turtle, looking very suave. And man, doing a little Captain Morgan. And they're both like looking this way and smiling victoriously. Would it make more sense to like move the turtle on the other side looking that way? So then he'd be on the other side and they're both looking that way. I feel like this looks like they're more of a unit, whereas this one looks like he's kind of pushing him backwards. So we're gonna go with this one. Try and fit it in this page here. Try and even simplify it more if I can. Hands are gonna be on hips, torso, knees up. That knee's not like way longer than the other. Want some kind of anatomy to make sense. And there's those boots. Victory. This is looking too round, whereas I feel like the elongation kind of replicated this turtle's neck. Then there'd be turtleneck. And we need Turtle Man. No, Turtle. This is Turtle Man. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna have to be pretty big. His head needs to be pretty big too. I want him to look up, victorious. Definitely the same facial expression. I feel like if I widen up his arms a little, kind of the back. Like here, maybe a little tail action. Now his knee probably needs to get up a little higher because they're interacting. I just want to make sure they look like a unit and not like he's trampling him, you know? We have room for the backpack idea if I want to. Definitely has a very strong Pokemon trainer vibes. I don't think I can get away from that one. Let me lightly erase this and try to find the turtle's face. Yeah, the little Squirtle piece. Oops, I just threw that straight off my desk. Pencil, come back. And we're back. But that little like Squirtle Bulbasaur beak thing. Still too underfoot, you know? I make his legs chunkier. Like, you know when someone's like standing there and then they're like, I'm victorious. You know, their legs kind of like, I don't know. You know, so if I like widen them out. I'm honestly really happy with the turtle now, and I'm ready to do the liner, but Turtle Man is a little lacking. Okay, I still have to make a decision on the vest. Maybe if I make it thinner at the top, more vest shaped, then you can actually see the edge of it too, because he's tilted. Maybe a little more form-fitting? How do you make a vest form-fitting with pockets? His hand could be like on one of the pockets. Just look a little better. Maybe some gloves. Tactical gloves. I feel like that makes more sense. I like shortened it. I don't know, it's more centered around his belly. So it's like a front shell. That's right, I wanted to make them more cohesive because he just kind of looks like a turtle. What if he's got like pockets on his shell? Then he like matches. Or maybe they look more strapped onto the side. Alright. I think we've got it, folks. So I believe next step, kneaded eraser and say goodbye to my beautiful sketch. Honestly, part of me wants to leave it that way because then we have colored stuff and we have, you know, the finished one, but it's not colored, so I don't know. It just makes a very pretty sketchbook page, you know? Champs! With explosions going on in the background. See what that turtle looks like with his new tactical shell. Pockets. I wanted them mostly on the side, so I want it to be like kind of flat on the top so it looks more like a vest. Tactical turtle. I think I am gonna leave it there because I'm really happy with it. So we'll put these markers away. I'm like really happy with this. It's like nothing like I would normally draw. Not exactly cutesy pinky. Ooh, should we do something cutesy pinksy next? I might just search animal, see what comes up. Flamingo. Let me just try a little something. So like the flamingo, there's much circular-y shapes with the beak. I want to continue that sort of like cartoony vibe, so we'll give them some good eyes. Maybe eyelashes. Why not? I feel like their heads kind of come out this way. Right, and then they go into a body. That's another circle, like a music note. I don't think you can really see the difference between their like wings and their body. And then legs. And then some kind of tail. I feel like they have a tail. Oh, you know what? That would actually be kind of coming out more behind this way. You can add like more fluffiness. I see some flamingos are kind of softer like that. Like they have floof floof. Oh, and they usually have the one knee up, don't they? We should do that. It kind of like goes backwards, and that's where this is. It comes forward. Like that. Is that what they look like? It looks weird. Maybe it's the angle. Or maybe it's my really weird feet that I draw. Now we'd need a person. I feel like if I want them to kind of mimic the shape of a flamingo, it should be someone taller, which makes me think an adult. Actually, when I was younger, I don't know, I was just so skinny as like a 12-year-old. My legs, I feel like, looked malnourished. My knees looked like that, and that's kind of what a flamingo looks like. Like, it wasn't as extreme, but I saw a photo recently, and I was like, that's not what my legs look like anymore. But I feel like a child might be a good idea then. And maybe like a tutu, like a big fuzzy tutu for the body to get those similar shapes. So if we have like a head for our character, and we want them to be tall and skinny, so they'll probably have a longer torso and then long legs. How do I make them look younger? Do I shorten the torso maybe? So they haven't quite grown into their shape yet. And a bigger head probably would help. And we need something big and fuzzy for the center area. Like a big fuzzy tutu. Feathers. Ooh, it could be a feather tutu. Now some flamingos have like black on the tip of their wings, like here. That's another color I can include. I also wouldn't mind a longer neck on her. And how do we make them faces? Maybe a larger nose? And then there's this, the way a bird's head is, it like comes so far forward, so I feel like a ponytail back there could make sense. I also give her like more wings, something fuzzy that hangs off her arms. And also kind of bring the mouth up closer to the nose. And the eyes are a little lower, kind of make them similar. I also could pose her to the way like where it's her hand that like mimics the head of the flamingo. Oh, you know what would be a good idea? If we slim up the front of the tutu so it's more of a like a bustle. Because that I feel like would look more like a flamingo, you know? Have her torso, make sure she can actually stand up. And then so like the front is more of the dancer outfit, and then it's got a tail kind of like a bustle. And then maybe we can do her arm doing the flamingo thing. But we also need to make her face resemble the flamingo too, I think. And then maybe tuck this little arm in, sort of like it's her wing. I think it should be smaller, like up this way. Because it's not like she's wearing a flamingo costume directly, right? And we'll give her ballet slippers. But she has a flat foot, like a flamingo. Also would like to line art it and add some color. Maybe there's just lots of feathers. The front is more like the ballet costume. I mean, if it's a ballet dancer, it can look costumey, right? Because it is. Just do a little bun on the back. Maybe I should draw another little flamingo so we can get the colors. Add some line art to that. I'm just gonna slim that so they don't touch. Drew them a little too close together. Alright, now we can do some colors. But we need a very vibrant pink, pastel pink, a white, and a black. Ooh, found it. Also want something redder. Basically that little part's white, then there's pink, and then there's black on the tip of the beak, and sometimes on the wings. Paint the RV14 first. And then we can add the more orangey one if it needs it. We switch to the lighter one. Blending. That'll be a little easier to play with when it's bigger too. And then, oh, what color are their legs? Kind of like a grayish pink. I'm gonna go over them with my lightest pink. And maybe my lightest gray. Oh shoot, I wasn't filming! We have black we can use for the hair. And use those really bright pinks. For the tutu. Make it like glittery so it's like way costumey. Because if we're gonna go costume, we might as well go costume. Maybe what if it's got like a mesh? I also haven't put any of the gray anywhere. We could give her gray shoes. Layered with a light pink. Ooh. I do want to draw her again. I feel like there's some more I could do. But I feel like if I draw it bigger, I can actually do more details with that. Because I'm thinking I want some kind of fun top with lots of glitter. Maybe this Posca. Also, I feel like I could go with a darker gray. Now that it's dried, it's just too blah. Those are my colors. I'm thinking I'm going big. I literally had a costume that looked exactly like this for tap dancing. I'm just now realizing. Except mine was blue. I guess we'll just go for a pose. I think it's gonna be really tall, so I should probably like use over here for figuring that out. She like this with her hand. Her other hand was gonna be tucked in. I wanna make sure you can see the booty. I put a lot of time into that. I could put the one leg up. Doesn't leave us room for the flamingo. How big is a flamingo compared to a person? Well, there's a lot of different kinds of flamingos, but the one I drew can be 3.6 to 4.9 feet tall. I feel like that's how tall this kid would be. I underestimated this. I'm actually not entirely sure how I'm gonna go about this. Let's just start, see what happens. I'm gonna draw really lightly and just figure out where body parts are gonna end up. Next, kind of going forward. Make sure she can stand up. Flat-footed like a flamingo, not a ballerina. And you'll see that costume. And I wanted the arm. Kind of be doing one of these. This arm kind of like mimicking a wing of a bird. And then we'd have the flamingo friend. You can probably put the head anywhere because it's got all this neck action. We can do whatever we want with that. Just make sure the flamingo's legs are a little... Ooh, we could make half of it a pointy toe. We could have them copying. Like they're dancing together. They're both dancers. Okay, I like that idea. That was going really well, but now I've got a better idea. So one foot is flat. And then this leg's kind of coming more towards the camera and pointing their toe. It's a kid. Doesn't have too many curves here. I feel like she could still be doing the flamingo thing. Oh, but then the booty's gonna be in the way. Maybe if I turn the body the other way? This arm's coming inwards, and this arm's kind of coming in front with the flamingo. So we have the pointy toe. And the other flamingo's foot has to go here. Other flamingo. The flamingo friend. With their foot coming in front there too. But I like the idea of her like looking upwards at her maybe. Looks very gonzo. And we have one leg coming forward. Pointing, and then the other one back here, and then it's got its tail too. That's kind of cute because they're like interacting with each other but also like doing the same pose. So they're standing here and then this is the front. It definitely needs details, so I'm gonna go over with the kneaded eraser and just kind of lighten things up so I can go over it again and like really figure out what it is. Maybe bigger ears can also make it look like a kid. The bigger head I think helped too, and this head got kind of small. How do I make it kind of a pointy nose without it looking older? Puppy black hair. I feel like the closed eyes make her look really old. Maybe it's the nose. I'm not sure. I don't usually draw unique facial features. I always draw the exact same face over and over and over again. I gave her a longer neck too. I don't know if you noticed. Then we need this. Our little flamingo hand. About what my knees looked like. I think I captured them quite nicely. I'm gonna try a different nose. I don't know, it just keeps looking like an old lady to me and it's supposed to be a kid. Maybe the same nose but just higher? I really liked how the nose went in front of the mouth though. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Now I don't like it at all. Maybe a smaller neck might help, like a shorter neck. Sometimes real things just don't translate into art the way you want them to. I think we're just gonna have to go with it. I could like go over it over and over and over again, but I don't think it's like getting any better. So we'll just go with this, I think. Oh, I wanted to give her more design on the outfit. I'll just make it my outfit at this point. I had a little mesh thing where your belly buttons stick out. I'm trying to decide if I should redo the whole face. I feel like it's worth it. So I'm just gonna try a bigger head. Need it to look more toddler-like. Shorten the neck, enlarge the head, maybe bigger eyes. Bigger pupils too might be helpful. Bullseye. Creepy. Bigger ears. Something's wrong with the back of the head. You're not looking right. I definitely have found whole new problems, but I fixed the ones I had before. Chin's too big. I mean, the flamingo like doesn't even have a chin, so if I just move it all downwards, keep that same like face or head, but move all the facial features down. Wide-eyed like a child, and we have a bun on the back. See if I make the eyebrows a little bushier and less chiseled, they'll look more like a kid. Should I give her ballet slippers too? It's fine with me. I really like the way the flamingo turned out. I think it looks great. So maybe I'll do that line art first. So I'll use the kneaded eraser, erase it most of the way, grab my line art. How big I would like it. I'm gonna start smaller. That way I can add like extra. Use the line art we used over. Actually, we didn't. We used that oil-based thing. All right, whatever. Let's just do what we gotta do here. Beak. Let me go back to a picture of a flamingo. Okay, I kind of did that wrong. Their eyes are actually back here. I had that reference out earlier. Oopsie. We'll just have to go with this. We just make it look flamingo-y enough. Shouldn't be. That's obvious. There's our ballet slipper on a flamingo. We can go ahead and erase. And flamingo's done. Unless I want to add anything else. Just an extra wing. And eyelashes. Okay, next we gotta do the little girl. Again, we'll go over with the kneaded eraser. Use that same line art size. And we'll start that up. Cute little child cheek. Kind of hard to see here because there is so much erasing. Might want to just get in the main things and then come in and define anything afterwards after I've like erased even more. Oof, what happened to this hand? Got lost in translation. Pinky, 2 fingers there, pointer finger, thumb, right? I'll just give her my dance uniform. And I haven't quite figured out the feather situation, so we should probably determine that. I like the idea of them being like little ones at the top and they get bigger. And the slipper. I feel like I kind of messed up the legs, but I guess they always kind of looked a little funny. Let's erase as much pencil as we can so we can add the color finally. Oh, and I want to add some fill in her hair. Also a little shadow under here wouldn't hurt anyone, would it? Alright, so let's start with our colors. They're over here. Start with the lightest. I always like how my markers show up in this sketchbook and the ELO sketchbook way better than they show up on any paper that I use. We're coloring everything with the skin tone. That's going to be under a mesh as well. Now what was this color used for on the flamingo? I guess mostly just for softening things up. Just a little variety, I guess. Alright, next up is RV11. Where did I use that? Little blush. Blend out. Try and black out some of this pencil that's under there. And any of the joints I like to make pretty pink. Ankles, elbows. Oh, and this also needs to go over here. Start filling in this flamingo. I think I also use this for the leg. Next up, RV14. This, I think, is her dress. And the feathers. But not the slippers. Slippers are the color of these things' legs, which is actually the last pink mixed with gray. I can use this for some more of the flamingo, the darker areas. I should have the other one out so I can blend them together. I also would like a black to go over the hair. Kind of remove some of that hatching texture since there's nothing else with it in this illustration really. Oh, we need that gray for the legs. Add an extra color in here that we don't have already. And slippers. I could even give her tights that were gray. But I was thinking I'd give this guy pink slippers. Just to make them a little unique. I kind of wish I had used some lighter colors in the feathers so they matched the flamingo a little bit. I tried lifting it a little. Or just adding more of the pink into the flamingo. We also need a little glitter up in here. Oh, I also didn't give her any mesh. Probably should use this pink. That way we can extend the glitter even further. So like along the rims, and then wherever they stick out the most. Belly button! Add some little dots for texture too. I know the legs were like a huge part of why I decided to do this, but I don't know, I feel like they don't quite look right. I don't have a reference of my own knees. I do want to add like a nice pretty tropical blue behind them, like this Tahitian blue. Maybe something lighter actually. That's very green, but I kind of like it. This is the one. We're going to give them a little circle behind them. I really have to do it because this was a lot of fun. Filled a whole spread in my sketchbook. I feel like I could draw in these little areas, just kind of fill it up. So I don't know if there's anything left to say. Here we have our kid. Let me draw the correct flamingo head to redeem myself. And now I know I didn't do it that way. That looks weird. Not so bad. Don't you add all the parts? It's more toucan-y, right? Anyway, since this is the first art of 2022, I am going to sign it so that I can put the date on here. 2022. Bow. Beautiful. Do they look like friends? Look at the animals and their people friends. I think this turned out really well. I would do more animals because I still want to do like a tiger. Let me know which animals you'd like to see me try next because I definitely want to do it. And I will hold off until I get some of your feedback so we can do some animals that both of us might really like to see. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have, again, a wonderful new year and I'll see you guys all next week. I hope you have a delicious evening full of waffles. Bye.